will the next generation ever meet people the way we met people? You know those moving graphs you love where it's like highest selling album of all time and you see the chart moving throughout the years? I saw one of those moving charts and it was how couples meet. It went from at work, at a bar/restaurant, and all the number one answers slowly went down. And then within the last decade, through the internet, was the number one answer of how people meet someone. You've seen those moving charts.
Yeah.
Some guy made a great point on social media. Play this guy, Spot.
Asian dude?
No, random bearded dude that just had a point about going out to the clubs and how clubs don't have the same vibe anymore.
One of the biggest reasons why nightclubs are dead is because 10, 15, 20 years ago, when a man wanted to get laid or a woman wanted to get laid, you went out and you wanted a party to meet someone and go home with them. Nowadays, it's all on your phone, social media. You slide into someone's DM, you go on Hinge, you go on Bumble, you go on Tinder. It's so much easier than back in the day when you had to have game, to spit game. Everybody's on their phone, they got game from their phone, but in person, they probably don't have that much game. So the biggest reason I'd say nightclubs are dead is because people don't have to go out to get laid anymore.
Nightclubs.
One of the big.
Do you hear the younger generation all raging at night? Is that
You don't want to go to the Limelight this weekend? You want to go Palladium?
I heard some young person, Spot.
Bunka Bunka and Sayreville?
I heard some young person talk about how, like, who was it?
You don't want to go to Soundgarden in Lodi?
I even heard comedian Matt Rife. Remember him? He was popular for a minute. Talk about how LA is dead. The night scene where 10 years ago, every like hot young Hollywood hussy was at these same restaurants and bars and clubs. That scene is over. People are staying home and chilling at home. And they're meeting on apps.
I think a couple reasons. I think the pandemic threw off everyone's social vibe. I think cost is huge. I feel like, going to these nightclubs now, it's like $30 for a Bud Light on top of cover charge if you want bottle service. It's like it's insane cost. Like when we go to Vegas, we don't go to clubs anymore, but like we go near them and to see the cost involved in these things, like to just hang with a bunch of bros.
If some guy, Covino, could take his chances, I'm gonna take my chances just swiping all night versus I'm gonna go spend hundreds of dollars or more at a club in Vegas. Maybe then I have to have the balls to go up to a girl, and then once I go up to her, then I have to like hope she's interested.
By the way, some of the craziest stories I've had over the last year or so didn't set foot in one nightclub.
For younger people at our age, it's still different.
But there's a nightclub scene that thrived. So does that mean moving forward, like the whole idea of like clubs are not even a cool thing?
I think if you're into
think of how many times you and I went out in the 2000s before social media kicked in, and the number one place you would go, always socially, was like, yeah, we could go to the club, go to the bar.
I mean, it's an evolution of
like
things.
If you were a club owner,
like Applebee's started going
If
away.
you were a club owner, would you be like, oh no? Or would you be like, there's got to be new ways to get people to want to come here?
Honestly, if I were going to the club now, I would go because I want to hear like a DJ. If our buddy like DJ Vice was DJ.
There's got to be like a reason.
That's the only reason I would go.
But Spot, I sent you that
For the
YouTube.
music.
I emailed you that YouTube short.
Did you hear Daft Punk's new song? It's called The Legend of the Peanut.
It's The Legend of the Peanut.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
But I just sent you that moving chart of how people have met over the years. And just to show you, to go along with that guy's thought. And it is interesting because you've probably met your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your boyfriend, old school way. Like, through a friend of a friend, or through work, or it was a client's friend, or it was a neighbor, or, some of my buddy's girlfriend's friend. It's social media. Take a look at this moving graph. From the 30s until now, the last like 100 years, how couples met. Top answers: family, school, friends, and neighbors.
Oh, friends just went up. Oh, friends are the top now.
People start to care more about friends than just being set up by their family. Coworkers is moving up the chart.
I'm surprised church wasn't higher to begin with. Now it's lower, obviously.
Bars and restaurants are moving up the chart. Coworkers, family, friends, same. This is from the 30s to the 70s. Now we're in the 80s. Coworkers and bars and restaurants are on the rise.
More women were in the workplace.
Yeah, more women in the workplace. Good point. Up until 20 years ago, Spot just paused it in 04. The answers were still friends, coworkers, and bars and restaurants. How people met.